Kind of forgot how long this one took to load. Okay, so believe it or not, we are surprisingly close to collecting all of the Skulltulas on this map. Which kind of feels weird, because like I haven't really focused on that, but it is a thing that has just happened. So I might consider maybe possibly going off and I should probably not do this because like probably not fight all of these at the same time or something. Yeah. Is that bad? I wonder. Yeah, I might dedicate an episode where we go off and collect all 3 or the remaining 6. Just note that that episode's probably gonna be like a little bit longer. Not to mention, some of the levels that still have Skulltulas are a little out of the way, just a little bit, and I have forgotten how to play Sheik. I'm just using generic warrior tactics, I guess. Not really. Focusing in on how to Sheik exactly. But yeah. I think the first topic of discussion for the moment will be just how I'm doing with editing, since I have like just a little bit of the projects, like since a few things have a lot of time has passed since when I last recorded this specifically for Octo Expansion itself. Most of the remaining episodes are in some way finished. Episode 23 needs to be finished, edited, like just have like a little bit left. More so the introduction, since it's a little bit different. 24 and 25 just need to be uploaded, but I don't want to do that since I'm fairly sure if I upload things out of order, it will appear out of order. So them, or they're being like behind, like episode 23 is keeping them behind like a little bit. Episode 25 needs to be edited, but it's not. It's a typical episode, I guess. I know 26 needs to be edited. Do we lose any? Okay. I need to go over here that way fairly quickly because I'm fairly sure. I'm not entirely sure if there's like a set chance for this to happen, but I know that if he goes down, then important people will just fall. Will just leave. Okay, you say that, but I need to focus on everything at like once. Not an easy map to do. Yeah, and the final episode, episode 27, is a little bit of a special case considering the fact that it's a bit of a bonus episode, and I'm not entirely sure how I'll go about recording or editing it. I have recorded the first 30 minutes of attempts at the thing. And then I think what I'll end up doing is like showing the first few attempts, maybe even the one I got the furthest on, and then after that point, just cut like do a fail montage, just quick, and then do the final few attempts. Okay. So I actually did keep him alive, I'm fairly sure. Although I'm not entirely sure why he went that way. Although I guess it is kind of the safer path. Something I need to remember if this is a... Okay, cool. It says there's no damage rank, so that's cool. But we're not ranked on damage. It's also time and KO. Which I guess makes sense. Although considering that this wasn't... or this was made with the 3DS version in mind, this guide I'm using was or made specifically for the 3DS version. I'm not entirely sure if there are going to be a few details that are just left out. I hate fighting Rizro. I'm really glad there's no... Hopefully there's no damage limit. We can take as much damage as we want and we'll be fine. If we just stay alive, we're golden. Essentially. Yeah. But I'm not entirely sure when I'll get around to recording the rest of episode 27. Also, it's just a happy coincidence that Octo extension ended up being exactly 27 episodes long. I get the feeling that if I did edit the episode or the content covered in episode 23 like a normal episode, it probably would make sense to cut them down or cut it up into 2 episodes, making the finale episode 27 but not the end of the series. Then of course this is episode 23, episode 83. Have episode 81 edited and ready for upload. Episode 82, I think the only thing I need to do is add an audio editing. Like, that's good to go, essentially. So I probably should have been paying attention to the map, but can we just go off to the boss right now and finish things? Can we do that? Because I'm hoping we can. Okay, well, Gibdo, buddy, I'm gonna storm your base. Just hope that we aren't facing fucking Ganon after this. I'm not entirely sure if I would want to make this a 10 episode long chapter or just a 5 episode chapter. Although that being said, I do kind of want to just quickly move on to Steam or Dig 2, since that's gonna be, yeah. Okay, please don't. What? I'm gonna assume that okay, please not the good ones. Okay. We have significantly less time now than what I thought I had now. Cool, you're here. Because I get the feeling that while I could use the time that 5 more episodes of this would give me. I probably would just procrastinate on that, on learning the things I need to do for SteamWorld Dead 2. Although that being said, my plan to for handling all these projects is, for the moment, focusing on getting Octo expansion and this out the door. Once that's done, spend a week or two finishing up Ocarina of Time 100% Part 2. Should probably come up with a better name for that. Although, yeah, the thing I could probably spend a lot of my time on now is making the thumbnail for that, because I think from this point on I kind of want to make art for my own thumbnails, or make my own art for thumbnails, just because like, there's an idea for a series that I want to do in the future, but it's a little weird in the fact that okay, so this apparently has a damage limit. Yeah. Just gonna go this one. Yeah. That I'm definitely thinking that making my own art for the thumbnails would be a better idea. Not to mention that when I do decide to eventually do a Platinum series, or Pokemon Platinum series, I would want to make my own art for that too. But yeah, let's go back to him. Is that just forced? How... How does Manhandle work exactly? Come on, buddy. Come on. Definitely don't know what to do. See her here. Although this is doing quite a bit, actually. Okay, is this enough for a killing blow? Yeah. Just to make that a little bit more unique. But the thing I have in mind specifically for that other series is it's gonna be a little bit weird, as let's just say that I'm going to need to pre-record the hell out of it, and it is definitely going to be a task in editing, as like what I have in mind is past borderline insane and just straight up, why would you put yourself through this territory? I'm thinking of doing a Pikmin Deathless run of or I guess a no Pikmin Death run of Pikmin 1. But the caveat being, I'm not gonna take it slow. I'm still going to use speedrunning tricks. actually think I've mentioned this beforehand, but a lot of the speedrunning tricks just kind of involve abusing your Pikmin. Like, one of the ones just up for use immediately is throwing your reds into water to put them up to a platform they're not normally supposed to be able to access. Yeah, throw them into the water to get them across to safety, to then throw them up to a platform that they shouldn't normally be able to access. Like that sort of thing. Okay, good. A little bit worried that he just wasn't gonna die there. Okay, we did get the A rank. So I guess depending on what is next, I might consider doing another level or mission. Only because, like, there's one more thing I can touch on. But that's not the only thing that I'm gonna be doing at the moment, and also kind of the reason why I am kind of considering also making this a 10 episode length chapter, so I can just have more time with my capture card hooked up to my Wii U. But my minimalist run through of Wario Land Shake It is spicing up, because like I said before, that the challenge of the idea is more so in the theory than the actual run itself, and okay, one of these. Okay, I think I can do this. So I definitely might think we need some more compasses. Okay. Okay, so just off we go. Doing this with Hyrule is going to be a little awkward. That should be the highest level thing we have. Yeah. So the thing I'm recording at the moment and the first part of the video is going to be setting up the process of, hey, before we do the actual run, here is why I set out to do these in the specific order, definitely needs to be focusing on everything here. So yeah, this is a very large map. What the fuck? Yeah. Basically going over why I'm going through the route I am, or I'm taking the route as I am. I had assumed that doing Area 3 Lost would be the play, but turns out I had it wrong. Okay, wow, those go down real fast. Yeah, I thought Area 3 was the one to do last, but when I went back through, or like, I'm going back through the game again, and going back through Area 2 kind of showed me that, hey, I was a little bit too sloppy when I originally did it, or when I set that up. Area 2 has much less required coins than Area 3 does, so if we want to skate by, then it would kind of make sense that area, or that we do area 2 last. And the knock-on effects that's having are, surprisingly enough, pretty immediate. Because of the whole thing of I want to go through the game collecting, or like having barely enough coins as is, or just enough to float by. The route I had set up, because I'm also giving myself the rule that I don't want to, up there too. Giving myself the little rule that I'm collecting my money along the way. I'm not going back through. So I think that would just kind of defeat the purpose. The route I had set up beforehand required us to go through, I think 2 levels again at different points. So, more than likely you're gonna be up there, aren't you? You piece of shit. So they can't come when they're dead, so I... Okay, I'm gonna take a risk and head straight to these guys. And just do it that way. Just hope that Double Children... Yes, Double Children don't kill us. Yeah. Doing it that way, but the downside, although from what I've seen so far, the only downside is that we have to collect twice as much money in the first area as what we did beforehand. And all that amounts to is that we have to go through a level, actually only once more. Oh, once. We have to go back through the level once, as I had set up, my previous run, I had set up that, hey, we can collect a little bit extra in area 1, or like the early areas, to then just ease into, so we don't have to collect as much money down the line. So thankfully doing it that way kind of made me able to pivot, so I can go, hey, if we change routes, we only need to collect this amount of money, like this much more money than beforehand. Which wasn't such a bad thing, but just, man, was that something, I know that was like, very just rambly, but I guess I was kind of focused more so on the mission. And would you look at that? 3 rows done. You know what? I'm gonna we can do a shorter episode, right? Okay. So I definitely think that I'll get around in between episodes for short levels that will give us compasses as we need them. But next episode, we'll get another 8-bit weapon, even though I don't think we'll quite need it. I don't think. But yeah, until then, that has been I'll see you.